of some building. We also know that there were facilities that had more accountants than nurses, because they were not treating nobody, they were gaming the system. We have now closed down, how many facilities was it? We have now closed down 800 facilities that were gaming the system. And that has been necessitated because we have digitized the whole system. It's no longer possible to cheat the system. And therefore, apart from enabling everybody to participate, giving an opportunity for the people who are self-employed to have a health insurance, the people who are not employed to have a health insurance, digitizing the whole system, making sure that we have equitable contribution, we have also made it possible that when you register today in SHA, you are eligible to be treated today. In the past, under NHIF, you needed to wait for 3 months. And many people ask us, supposing after the 3 months, what will have happened if I was sick? Do I have to postpone the illness? So we have made it possible under the new social health insurance for beneficiaries to benefit instantly on registration. So, as a result, we have eliminated fraud, we have enhanced efficiency, we have enhanced accountability, and Kenyans today believe more than they have done in the past on matters healthcare. As a result, the numbers speak for themselves. Where we had 7 million registered members under NHIF, today we have 23 million Kenyans registered under SHA. And for your information, 50,000 Kenyans register on average every day. We've had a high of 90, what was the highest number we registered in a day? 93,000 Kenyans is the highest that registered in one day. But on average, 50,000. Over the weekends, they come down to 30,000, but on average, 50,000. And the numbers are counting because Kenyans now know that when you register, number one, you have access for free to level 1, level 2, level 3, and part of level 4. And then you have access when you make your contribution to level 5, level 6. Number 2, SHA has now paid 3.6 million for 3.6 million Kenyans under the primary health fund, and for 2.1 million Kenyans under SHIF, a total of 5.7 million Kenyans have benefited from our new healthcare program. We have paid to facilities faith-based, private, public. Over the last 8 months, I'm giving you statistics over the last 8 months. In 8 months, SHA has treated 5.7 million Kenyans, and we have paid 49.2 billion Kenya shillings. 6.2 billion was paid last week. The transformation going on in our health care landscape is phenomenal. We believe that by the end of this, by the 1-year anniversary of SHA, we will have paid 3 times more than NHIF could pay in 1 year. That is the kind of transformation we are talking about. Already, at 49 billion shillings, NHIF used to pay an average of between 20 billion and 25 billion a year. In 8 months, we have almost doubled what NHIF used to pay in a whole year. That is what transformation looks like, in my opinion. What are we planning to do going into the future? We intend to get every Kenyan and their dependents registered in SHA. We are rolling out a national campaign to make sure that every Kenyan understands that it is necessary for them to be registered, because it gives us the opportunity, government at both levels, it gives us the opportunity to plan for our health. It gives us the opportunity to know how many people are in which facility, so that we can provide the right number of staff, the correct number of equipment, and also the adequate number of medical commodities, including drugs. So we are going to carry out a robust campaign as number 1. Number 2, working with counties, we are now rolling out equipment, provision of equipment under different frameworks. One for fee-for-service, another one we are going to pay over time, and other services are going to be purchased outright. We have now an agreement with suppliers between the counties, the national government, and the suppliers for delivery of equipment to make this service that we now have the resources to pay for available. And number 2, we are completing the reform around KEMSA. We have worked with our county governments, and we have secured their concurrence that going into the future, drugs will not be supplied to stores in county headquarters. Drugs will leave KEMSA and go direct to facilities. We have also agreed with them that as facilities, as SHA is paying for treatment, the component of payment that is as a result of drugs will be paid direct to KEMSA to make sure that drugs do not run out in facilities because they have not been paid for. And I must commend county governments for their immense contribution to this program, because this is a program we share with them. The 5th item that we discussed this morning, is it the 4th or the 5th? The fifth item that we discussed this morning is matters to do with our digital superhighway, the whole space around digitizing government. As you're all aware, we have moved the digitization process from about just under 360 government services that were online. We have now digitized 20,000 government services. We have moved payments to government from cash and other forms onto the e-citizen platform. We have brought more transparency into payments. We've brought more accountability into government revenue. And e-citizen has moved from collecting about 60 million shillings a day. Now e-citizen is collecting between 700 million shillings a day to 1 billion shillings a day. And it is now possible for government to know who is paying, where, for what, in what manner. We have a robust program on digitizing government and leveraging from technology and using it to make delivery of service efficient and also expanding opportunities for commerce and opportunities for employment. We have a robust program on Jitume labs, ICT hubs, and a whole digital superhighway. We're now working, we changed the strategy from delivering internet using trunks. We are now leveraging on Kenya Power grid lines, and the process is moving faster so that we can digitize government more. And as a result, I have told you, we now have more government services available online. You can pay for those government services online. You can acquire or you can interrogate government services online. We are collecting more revenue of government online. But we are also still looking at the future. What do we need to do for the future? We need to finish the last mile, and that is the assignment that is now available to us going into the future. We need to complete the digitization of government so that no service, there are a number of services that are still not on board. We are asking ourselves why. And that's the question we intend to answer in the coming days, weeks, and months. Number two, there are some institutions that still don't want to pay on e-citizen because they have things to hide. There are some institutions that have taken us to court. We will be engaging with our primary and secondary school heads who have refused to pay school fees on e-citizen. They have refused parents. They want to continue writing those receipt books on exercise books. And we are telling them the era of transparency is here. Parents should insist on paying on e-citizen so that, and I want to thank schools that have agreed because they believe in transparency to get parents to pay on a digital platform. And many other institutions that are still out there. We will go after all of them so that is our exercise for the future. We also need to complete the construction of the 1,450 ICT hubs. We are not doing very well there. We are at about 200 and something. So we will be engaging our members of parliament because they are our partners. The Honorable Kabogo here and his team at ICT will be working with them. We are also developing networks to be able to get more computers because we need close to 150,000 computers to run our ICT hubs across Kenya. So that is going to be our assignment going forward, to work with partners to be able to get computers, and we are looking at possibilities of manufacturing those computers here in Kenya so that servicing becomes easy, and also create local expertise for us developing this space now going into the future. And we will be looking at how we can do this from a whole of government approach. The sixth issue that I want to talk about is our micro, small and medium enterprises. As I told you, we had 7 million Kenyans that were, condemned by CRBs, credit rating bureaus, and they couldn't transact. They couldn't do much because they were rated as very dangerous people. We worked with the MNOs and we managed to get these Kenyans out of the net. And the reason why these Kenyans were all in CRBs was because they were paying interest rates of up to 300%. We have since changed and provided what we committed to the people of Kenya as a hustler fund. And hustler fund gives credit to borrowers at 8% per year, down from 300% to 8% per year. We have lent 65 billion shillings under that framework. And we have improved the credit ratings of citizens. A presentation was presented to us here today that Asla Fund has become the nursery school for creditworthiness. That is when people discover that being creditworthy is necessary. And as a result, we are now transitioning 1.6 million of these borrowers. Now they can be lent to by banks because they have established a credit history that is credible. We are looking at some of the graduates of Hustler Fund. Today, we have a new product called the Bridge Loan, where those who have established a good credit rating can now borrow up to 150,000 shillings without any security of whatever nature, just on account of their credit worthiness or credit history. And again, on the Hustler Fund platform, we are now rolling out the Nyota program with the World Bank, where the intention, and my good friend Oparanya there with his PS, Madam Mangeni, and my good friend Jacobs, there, the PS for Youth, are working around the clock with our partners in the World Bank, because we have agreed that many of these small business people that have managed to graduate into business enterprises, we are picking 100,000 of them and giving them, together with the World Bank, a grant of 50,000 shillings each one of them. And we will be spending 5 billion shillings to support young people, women. And we have made sure that it covers every part of the country. 70 small business people will be identified in every ward in Kenya to be beneficiaries of this program as we upscale the micro, small, and medium enterprise space into creditworthiness and improving their businesses. And finally, what we discussed this morning and afternoon is matters to do with the young people of our nation and jobs. We all agree as a nation that creating jobs or unemployment is a problem that we must solve. We have discussed unemployment for many years. Every election cycle we are talking about unemployment. But we all know that jobs cannot happen. They must be created. Some deliberate, intentional policies must be put in place to create jobs. And we have interrogated our plan on creating jobs. And we have the following to say. We did make a policy decision that we were going to